I've got a mission I need your help with. I'm trying to come up with creative ways to find 10,000 to 100,000 new collectors and get them into the hobby. Basically, find new people that aren't into sports cards and see if we can evangelize them and get them into sports cards because I'm worried that things will not be sustainable if we don't grow interest in this market in the younger population. So I'm going to rattle off 6 ideas and I want this to be interactive. Please let me know in the comments which ones you think will work best. And honestly, how you would implement them. And if you could think of any other ideas, let me know. All right, so number 1, we have the MVP buyback program, which if you're new to this, it's essentially a gamified system where if a player basically wins Rookie of the Year, Fanatics is willing to buy back their card for a specific price. But if you decide to hold it and they make MVP or make the Hall of Fame, it's gamified and you get more money. So my thought was they just took over the NBA license. Why not get a weekly NBA fantasy with sports cards thing going where every week it forces collectors to dive back into their collections or visit local card shops based on the player of the week. So whatever player is named the NBA player of the week, they can gamify that player and make those cards redeemable for a certain amount of Fanatics cash or something like that. I think that'd be pretty cool. Let me know what you think. The amount of incentive there would need to be, like $50, $25, $10. That one could be fun because we all love fantasy. We play NBA Fantasy Weekly. I think this would be a fun way to turn that digital experience into something physical with cards, especially since they just released the new NBA, licensed product. The other one is what I call rip at the game. So it's pretty simple. You just set up pop-ups at arenas. You target like 50 sports arenas. Obviously, the baseball season's over, but they have the NBA license now, so you could do this at different NBA sports arenas. Or if it drags long enough, we can get into April and potentially do something with MLB. And the idea is probably get like 2,000 new collectors per stadium, give away free packs, have a QR code that allows them to get on to Fanatics Collect, maybe list some things. I actually think this is a great way to crowdsource stuff that the world hasn't seen because maybe grandpa's going to the game with their son who's a little bit more up with it and can scan a QR code, but grandpa might have tons of old sports cards he can list on the auction. So I think that'd be pretty amazing. So that's a cool idea. They could all obviously do the instant rips stuff. A really crazy idea would be to set up instant rips at every casino in the country, but I won't go there. That would be crazy. Other cool idea, the Scholastic Scholastic book program has a 90% penetration in school systems, and they run over 90,000 book fairs per year. What if we had a Scholastic-like sports card club for schools? You figure like 20 kids per school. How many schools are there? It could be subsidized with like a welcome kit. Like here's some cards. Here's a checklist. Here's how to build sets. Here's how you determine if a card is valuable or not, or how you check comps or that sort of thing. It'd be pretty cool. And then the clubs could meet, and what they could do, and you could actually dovetail this into an entrepreneurship program. Instead of having a book fair, you have a sports card show at the school. And if they allow it to be monetized, great. If they don't, I'm sure you could come up with something. Quick wardrobe change and 3 more ideas I want to run by you guys. So the next one is a Topps New Collector Week. So basically we take 100 card shops, maybe 10 card shows, one of the bigger ones running at that time. And we say, if you bring a non-collector friend to the card show or the card shop with you, they get a free pack, not junk wax, like the current basketball cards, something like that. They'd probably be happy to subsidize something like this. And I think that would get a lot of people into the hobby. Yes, some people will cheat and they'll just say like, I'm not a collector. But I think for the most part, people will be honest. It's just a pack of cards. And I think that'd be pretty cool. It would get people to the shops too. And they're going to buy more stuff. get people to the shows where they're also going to transact and buy more stuff and build relationships. So I think that's like another way to kind of grow things really well. Another one I always thought of is a referral program. You guys know about Uber and some of the other companies that they will pay you to bring friends or family into the platform. They'll pay you in credits or actual money. I think Topps could do this and encourage non-collectors to get to shops and shows. And I mean, basically what you could do is for 1 month, everybody that does a break on Fanatics Live or on Topps, they get a special QR code. That's a referral code. You say anybody that uses that to sign up to either one, Fanatics Collect, Fanatics Live, or something like that, you pay them $10 or you give them $10 in credit, and then you gamify the thing where, all right, like the top 10 get, they get to take part in the Fanatics games or something like that, or the top 10 get a meeting with Michael Rubin or Mike Mahan to discuss different sports card ideas. I think it'd be cool. Plus, you could get influencers involved and they could see how many they can get. And the whole thing would be kind of a fun game that should get new people into the hobby, I think. And the last one's actually my favorite here. I think of Cartman with South Park. He's like, "My safe space," that song. I think that there needs to be a place for first-time breakers. I've done a break. I did a break with Joe Hollywood that raised $100,000 for children's hospitals. Awesome. It's the only break I've ever run, and it's the only break I ever participated in. And I'm actually, despite being sort of an expert in this space, I'm a little bit intimidated by the way that you can bid on serial numbers and how the team stuff works or the character stuff works. It'd be cool to have once a week exclusive breaks for new breakies only. You do that like once a week for a month. I think that would lower the barrier to entry to get people onto these platforms. And I think it'd be a fun way to increase participation. So those are my 6 ideas. Let me know how you can get 100,000 new collectors into sports cards. I'm open to anything.